So in centuries past, what happens is that you reconnect with your causal body, which has all your attainment, which has been purified and perfected by God. That you reconnect with that when you gain your ascension and you raise your physical body up into the electronic body of your presence. Then your causal body is instantly available to you. However, it was in the original design that there would come a point as you would grow on the earth, you would enter into the third millennium of your study of becoming God. Of course, you know, the third millennium was, in our terms of using the context of that word, was 12 million years ago. So you're 12 million years late. But the idea was that you would have 3 golden ages. First golden age, second golden age, third golden age. Each golden age would last 1 million years. Each given its purpose for you to, as God beings, to come onto the earth and practice introducing your spirit, your presence into the world of form, of marrying your spirituality with the powers of nature and the force of the elements, being able to prove that you could control the elements in your body, that you could control the elements in a mountain and a tree. All of this was part of the training that was to be. And of course, the end of that, the third golden age, which didn't happen, was because at the end of the second golden age, that's when the fall from grace occurred. And so recently a student asked, I haven't responded to it in a newsletter, but asked, when did Adam and Eve take place? Well, we did have 2 weekends raising the consciousness of Adam and Eve. It was some time ago. Those programs are available on the store. Brought through a lot of information. But was there an Adam and Eve? In concept, yes. Were there 2 individuals that played that concept out? Yes. Did it happen in accordance to the... Watch your mouth, son. In accordance to the Hebrew Bible 7,000 years ago? Gosh, 7,000 years ago, that's just yesterday. No, of course not. So the story, the concept, and the 2 individuals that played out Adam and Eve was after the second golden age and in the process of the fall from grace. The fall from grace has occurred. The I Am race have lost their contact with their own higher intelligence. Somehow a God being finds a way to speak to 2 individuals and says, I can get you out of this mess you just got yourself into. You've just disconnected yourselves from your higher Christ intelligence. And so this voice of God that was spoken by a great cosmic being, he's the mean Mr. M, says to these 2 individuals, I can get you out of the situation you've got yourself in. However, you have to be aware of this situation that you're in is going to lead you. In fact, you've lost it already. You've lost the power of conception, and it's going to lead you into a place of perception. And this place is called the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And so that voice of Mr. M encouraged Adam and Eve not to go there. Now, of course, the Hebrew version of the Bible talks about the tree of knowledge as being the apple tree. Don't eat that apple tree. And Eve comes along with the apple and says, "Oh, you want to eat this apple, don't you?" Well, the truth is, Eve didn't do that at all. It was Adam. It was Adam who said, "You know what? We're stuck down here. That, if this is going to happen to us, then we need this knowledge. It might be the knowledge of good and evil, but we can use the good aspect of this knowledge and get ourselves out of it." Eve went along with it. You see, now what did I just tell you? Something about mind. So Adam represented mind. Eve represents heart. In the grand marriage of masculine, feminine principles, there is no who comes first. There is no who's boss. But like in any good marriage, there comes those situations that evolve. Well, you're better in doing this and I'm better in doing this, so you handle this. And it's not always the same. Especially now. He stays home and she's out earning the paycheck. So things are evolving, aren't they? Yet there was a history that when it was a history in those two golden ages was that mind could be depended upon to conceive ways of continuing to perfect the idea of marrying thought and form, marrying thought into the elements, being able to move a tree, move a mountain. Mind was leaned upon to conceptualize those ideas. Heart was leaned upon to fulfill that conception. So when Mr. M spoke and mind said, well, I will conceive a way, maybe I've lost the ability to conceive. So mind put the idea forth that if we do study the tree of knowledge, we just won't study the tree of evil. We'll just study the tree of good. So heart trusted mind and said, okay, let's try it. So heart trusted mind. My heart is supposed to trust mind. Yet mind is supposed to trust heart. It goes both way. And from the whole thing came down. So we don't need to go over that story. So back to my thought I was pressing in on, and that is what comes forth for each of you is creating a beautiful mind. That your original mind, you have not experienced your original mind, divine mind, universal mind, individualized for some 12 million years. That's a long way to go back. We'd have to take the universal vacuum cleaner and suck 12 million years of experience out of you. You'd really be thin then. So, part of the divine plan is to birth a new mind. That mind actually will come out of your original mind. It will actually birth from that place, and it will be birthed in a state of conscience. In other words, that new mind will interpret the world as it is and the world that needs to be fixed, the world that needs to be healed. So from this place, and talking about the intertwining of the mind through the mental body and how the mental body is connected to the entirety of your multi-body system, and that includes your light body, your violet soul body, and even your causal body. Intervention came forth a few years ago by the archangels that you could begin to call upon the archangels to transfer some of your attainment from your causal body into your present feeling body. And you can still do that. You can take a period of 7 days and keep calling upon your favorite archangel to transfer that attainment, because it's intended to come in waves. As you know, we said to you back then, it's not going to come, you're not going to get your entire attainment of 15 million years since leaving the central sun. You're not going to get that all in one segment. You're going to get it throughout a lifetime. So it's a good thing for all of you to do. Again, go back to the archangels and ask for more of your attainment that's stored in the causal body of your I am presence to be transferred into your present feeling side of life. Okay, so we understand and we appreciate the complexity of our mind via our mental body in its vast connection to not only our physiology, but its vast connection to our faculties, our multi-bodied system, and ultimately to the presence of God, whether it be within you or above you. You now know that. So now it is time to start appreciating and time to start programming what kind of attitudes, what kind of principles will your new mind, will your whole mind stand upon? I am a loving, heart-driven, thoughtful person. That is a wonderful initiation to be telling yourself, I am a loving, heart-driven, thoughtful person. Again, I appreciate years ago affirmations might not have worked. You weren't as whole years ago. Your connection between your mental and emotional body was not as strong as it is today. And so because of that, your affirmations will have much greater success, especially when you bring feelings of faith, feelings of confidence in yourself, and feelings of believing in yourself. When I use the word believing, I use it in different context than the word belief and belief structure. In some final thoughts of this evening in preparation for tomorrow, I lean upon some counsel given years ago. Years ago, we were seeking to stop the traumatization of the emotional body. That's one of the first things that we were seeking to do. And we accomplished that. And so we asked you to do a couple things. We asked you to realize, because you had enough illumination, that the mass of the people live from the outside in. They're walking around like giant sponges, and they're just taking everything in. And they're taking in, it's not so much the mental body or physical body, although that has changed. Because of mass consciousness changes, not to the better, more people are taking in through the mental body, and that's why you get stupid